this is what delaminated plywood looks like, and it usually starts on the edges. It just all kind of falls apart. So this roof is 1960 something, so however old that is. So that's a typical plywood. When we come into these older houses like this, the plywood gets lipped up and it starts to delaminate. And if you look over here on this here, you can see it from a cross angle. I don't know if you can get it with the camera, but what it ends up doing, it gets soft. And between each rafter, it'll start to do a whoop on you, and it's no longer laying flat. The other thing it does is it lips up. I'll show you over here. This is a perfect example of what happens with this delaminated plywood. So on your seams, you're on your horizontal seams, and I don't know why it does this, but it does it. This piece of plywood, it'll lip down into the attic, and then this piece will buckle up. And it does it it's just the weirdest thing ever. It'll do it across the whole line of plywood. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the plywood's trying to get separated so the hot air can come out, but that's how it looks every time. So what the problem is with this shingling over this, which everybody does, we don't, because this is what happens. This homeowner buys a new roof, and the first time they've looked at the roof in years, right? The brand new roof. Then when you look at the brand new roof, you got your shingles laying on it, and then they'll see these horizontal lines that are 2 or 3 feet long all over the roof. And that's what this is. This actually shows through the new shingles. It sticks out like a sore thumb, and you can visually see it from the ground. And it kind of happens all over the time, all over the place. The attic is just hot. That's why this plywood falls apart. It's just a hot roof. And back in the 60s when they're building these houses, ventilation wasn't even really thought about. If the roof got ventilated properly back then, it was just a pure accident. Most guys were popping in 2 or 3 soffit vents here and a couple roof vents here and there. That's about all it did. They just put some air into the attic. But if we look underneath here, this house has air chutes on it. So theoretically, the air should be able to get up into this attic and keep it cool enough. But at times, the attic is just too hot for the plywood. So this one doesn't. We got an air chute here. Air chute there, no air chute. No air chute. Air chute there. But the vented soffit, when you look at the specs on it, if it's vented on every single one, they're letting in air. But what the problem is, a lot of times they put in a vented soffit, 2 solids, vented, 2 solids, and they just don't let in enough air to cool these attics off. So if you're using aluminum soffit, vented soffit, you really have to have continuous soffit vent on the whole house in order to get enough air into the attic to do any good at all. They're really underventilated if it's not continuous aluminum soffit vent. But you can see the plywood that's coming off here. I mean, it's just soft and it's moisture stained and everything. The roof wasn't leaking. But yeah, it's just the plywood, the heat is what does these in. But we've lost jobs to contractors before when we're telling homeowners, we're walking the roof, we're feeling the softness, we can see the delamination through the existing roof system. And you can see the delamination, and we say, you're gonna need plywood. We estimate full replacement. Worst case scenario, it's every sheet. Best case scenario, it's 6 or 8, 10 sheets of plywood. And then homeowner don't believe us. That's fine. So then they'll find a contractor who says, "Nah, plywood's plywood, it's fine." And then they get a new roof. You know, especially if you run a row of nails through here. And I've had that before years ago. We do a roof, and for whatever reason, the guys weren't paying attention or we didn't know any better. And you run a row of nails right through there, right through this spot right here, right where the seam is. And the plywood's soft. The nails don't stick long term. Eventually they're gonna pop. And once they let loose, they start leaking. Believe it or not, these shingles only tread water, and a lot of water gets underneath asphalt shingles. That's why we need an underlayment underneath there. So if there's a wind-driven rain, water is getting in underneath all these shingles on all the keys, wherever there's a seam. You know, wherever there's a seam, water's going underneath there. So it's very important for the underlayment and for the plywood. So if water's getting even in there, and I've seen these things leak, even though you got synthetic underlayment underneath there. We've been to jobs that are 1, 2, 3 years old where we get a call, it's leaking in the middle of the roof, and it got shingled over bad plywood. A row of nails went right through this soft stuff. The nails have already popped, and there's synthetic, and there might even be ice and water underneath that area. And the nail hole is what's letting it through at that time. You have to have a solid deck to make your shingles work right. So here's another one right here. Same scenario down there on that part. Look at this. There's this piece of plywood. You can see daylight. You can see into the attic here. This piece of plywood comes up. This one comes up. This one comes down. It's just the weirdest thing ever. So it's just a lot of extra time. The guys don't like pulling plywood off. They like showing up, shingles off, shingles on, do their 30, 40 square a day and be done. But then when you got to start hauling plywood up, 10, 20 sheets of plywood on a house, it just makes the days long. But it's what the guys got to do to make it right, make it last. So that's how we deal with delaminated plywood. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to press the like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next project. We're proud to serve the greater Sioux Falls area, and we're always here to help with all your roofing and exterior needs, from repairs to full replacements. Got a question or need help with your home? Drop a comment or reach out at 605-764-9517 or visit our website at gemwoodsroofing.com. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, we'll see you on the next project.